is the biggest adventure of all time. Back on the big screen. In 3D. With never-before-seen footage. For a limited time only. Avatar in select cinemas.
Well, growing up, I mean, with all of your stuff, I mean, you know, having seen Abyss and then the Abyss director's cut and Aliens, and you don't whip up director's cuts and just throw in extraneous stuff. There's always got to be some meat to it. I mean, every cut is different. So what makes this one different? I haven't read anything about what you're going to be adding to this.
Well, we put back 9 minutes, and we could have put back an hour.
Right.
You know, and you wouldn't. You know, you wouldn't do that because part of the process of making a movie is an exploration of what works best. And you take things like sculpting. You know, you take away. It's a reductive process. You take away to make the strongest final product. Yeah. But we were a little on the conservative side because we didn't know how long people would sit still for watching a 3D movie. And you know, as it was, we put out a 2 hour and 41-minute 3D film and you know, breathed a huge sigh of relief when the audience said, "No, it's not too long. In fact, we could have stayed longer." I thought, okay, you know, threaten me with a good time. I'm gonna start putting back some footage. Yeah. You know, so we had there were a few select moments that we all really loved and hated to part with as we were cutting the film. And I thought, all right, film's a big hit. I can go back to the studio, get a few more $1 million, go back and finish all the visual effects for these scenes, and we'll do a re-release. And the other thing that I thought was compelling was that there weren't enough 3D theaters to support two big 3D movies. Right. So when you know, Alice in Wonderland and then How to Train Your Dragon came out, they really took a lot of our screens, and that told us, because our business was doing great at that point, that there were a lot of people that still wanted to see the movie on the big screen in 3D. And you know, so then the question is, all right, now we're downstream of a huge hit DVD release. Does that want to see persist? Right. Is it less, or is it more because now we have a whole new audience that's seen the film on home video and now wants to have that experience in a theater? We don't know the answer to that yet, but we're going to find out here real quick. Yeah.
Would you say what is going to be coming up is the definitive cut, or do you have something in store that you're kind of stowed away, going, okay, you know, maybe later down the road we'll see exactly what?
It's horses for courses, as they say in England. You know, for the initial release of this movie in December, that was the definitive cut, and I think it was the best choices were made. Here we've got a little latitude. We've already had this huge hit, you know, so we can afford to go a little farther out on a limb, make a little bit of a longer movie. Is it definitive? No, I don't think so. I think the film that got nominated for 9 Academy Awards is the definitive one. This is one for people who are sort of predisposed as fans to like the movie and want to spend a little more time in that world. You know, on a DVD, I might put one out that's significantly longer. You see what I mean? Really, if you really want to wallow in it,
fully immersive.
You know, exactly right. If you want to immerse yourself in that longer, but I think it's using the medium and using the different stages in the life cycle of a movie creatively to give fans different experiences. I don't have a problem with that. This is a director's cut, and that was a director's cut, and the next one will be a director's cut. You see what I mean?
What I think this is the first time we've seen you kind of fully embrace You're already talking about sequels. There's already been buzz on you know, for a part 2 and a part 3. I think this is the first time we've ever seen you this jazzed to fully get into a world. We never saw that with The Abyss. We never saw that with, you know, True Lies. I mean, even though I would have liked to have seen sequels to those films.
Do you know how many stinking interviews I've done before somebody noticed that?
Well, what is it?
Because I don't do that.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't go live in a world for 10 years. That's what we're talking about.
Is that scary for you? I mean,
no, not at all. Not at all. And there's 2 reasons. One, it's a very open-ended universe. Yeah. This particular world of Pandora and that particular solar system and that whole future history. There's richness, there's a lot of environments, and there are a lot of characters, and I have a big roadmap for that. Right. Secondly, I love the people I made this movie with. We had a great time. I mean, it was hard. It was really hard, but it's a proven team, and we sort of created this weird family bond. You know, you work on a movie for 4.5 years, either there's going to be blood on the walls or people are going to be bonded for life. You know, so it's a unique thing. It hasn't happened to me before. You know, movies are usually, you know, you spend a year on something, everybody says goodbye to each other, and that's that, and you're on to the next thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm perfectly comfortable going back to that world. The question I haven't answered for myself yet is, am I comfortable going back to that world right now, or do I do another movie in between?
Really quick question. Comic book I grew up with in college, Battle Angel. Not too many people know about that.
No, it's not well known here.
Yeah. I mean, are you ready to? Are you still kind of gestating?
Yeah, it's
that
still on my radar. It's a story I love. You know, wrote the script back before I started Avatar, and again, we got to figure out where it lies.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have infinite time.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about revisiting the True Lies? I mean, like doing some Blu-ray stuff?
You know, yeah, maybe. You know, I mean, there are a couple of scenes that were taken out that are kind of fun.
Do you have anything to do with the new Aliens stuff that they put out?
I just did a complete remaster of Aliens
nice.
Personally, with the same colorist that I worked with on Avatar, and it's spectacular. We went in and we completely denoised and degrained it, up-resed it, color corrected it end to end, every frame, and it looks amazing. It looks better than it looked in theaters originally.
Yeah.
Because it was shot on a high-speed negative that was a new negative that didn't pan out too well and got replaced the following year, so it was pretty grainy. We got rid of all the grain. It's sharper and clearer and more beautiful than it's ever looked. And we did that to the long version, to the director's cut or the extended play. You know.
Right. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't
I
wait.
call it the FM mix.
Yeah.
That's dating myself.